Vostok. It may be a brand that you've never heard of. To those that are watch nerds like me, it's a name that's synonymous with quirky, inexpensive, yet surprisingly capable dive watches. So much so that it seems like it's already been endlessly covered online. So why this video? I wanted to show the more personal side of finding the right watch for me and what I finally ended up choosing as my first Vostok to buy. Vostok is the Russian word for east, and the brand's origins trace back to World War II. The Kristopol watch factory originally produced watches for soldiers during the war, and in 1957 began branding their watches under the name Vostok. Today, the two main Vostok lines are the Komandirsky and the Amphibia. Komandirsky, meaning commanders, are known for their durability and often feature the Komandirsky text and the iconic red star on the dial. The more popular line, however, is the Amphibia, Vostok's dive watch series. It was the first reliable Russian watch rated to 200 meters of water resistance. Many videos online have shown Amphibias surviving pressures far beyond that rating, largely thanks to their domed acrylic crystal, which self-reinforces as pressure increases with depth. Some of the most recognizable Amphibias online today include the classic Scuba-Dude 420059. Many would call this an acquired taste with its bright blue dial and unique bezel markings. Another popular model is the 12512, brought into the spotlight by Teddy Baldassar, with its more understated black dial and triangle hour markers. If you've ever browsed a Vostok retailer, you already know that there are hundreds of models to choose from, each with their own personality and story. I was personally looking for a black diver with classic Vostok design cues to add to my collection, but not one that had already been endlessly praised by the watch community. One had the bezel that I wanted, the dial felt too cluttered. It had a great dial, but lacked the Vostok blue I'd grown to appreciate. This one had the wrong hands, another the wrong bezel. I spent weeks looking for the right Vostok for me. It's probably the biggest reason why I hadn't got one already. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a model that I immediately thought, that's the one. The Vostok Amphibia 740-42V Elbrus Edition. I searched everywhere for photos, posts, or even videos before I bought this model. And surprisingly, there wasn't much out there. That was one of the main reasons that I decided to make this video, to highlight a lesser-known Vostok that I think deserves more attention. I picked up this watch for about $200. Did I overpay compared to Vostok prices even earlier this year? Probably yes. You could probably have found this watch for around $150 even in Jan or March of this year. But that didn't stop me. You can likely find it for less directly from the factory website, though your experience may vary depending on the current tariff situation here in the US, as well as import fees. The unboxing experience is nothing special compared to other watch brands, but it's definitely a step up from other Vostoks I've seen. The watch comes in a black box with the Vostok lettering also found on the dial. Underneath the watch is an instruction pamphlet, which surprisingly wasn't much help to me in Russian. The most striking feature of this watch is the dial. It alternates between triangle markers and Arabic numerals, which isn't something Vostok typically does. Still, it very much feels in line with their design language, almost like a 2-in-1 dial. To me, it's reminiscent of the Seiko Alpinist, but with a distinctly Vostok twist. There's no date window, which I actually prefer. It keeps the dial cleaner and avoids the frustration of Vostok's lack of quick-set date on most of their other watches. The dial also adds that signature Vostok blue that I really enjoy, most notably on the seconds hand, which adds the right amount of contrast to an otherwise black dial. The Elbrus Mountain logo is a subtle but welcome detail as well. The black friction-fit rotating bezel is marked in 5-minute increments, with blue accents that tie in nicely with the dial. Even with its grooves though, it's a bit tricky to rotate due to its thin profile. I'm not sure how it would be underwater. The case finishing is minimal, but the fully brushed surfaces give it a very tool-oriented feel. The signed screw-down crown is the only polished element on the watch. While there's no exhibition caseback, it does feature the Amphibia lettering, as well as a more detailed Elbrus logo than what's found on the dial. If you're looking for accuracy, you won't find it here. The movement is similar to other Vostoks and is rated at -20 to +60 seconds a day. Mine seems to run closer to the -20 second side, though I have heard the accuracy can improve slightly after the watch is broken in. In terms of the size, the watch measures at 40mm at the bezel and 41.7mm at its widest point, with a lug-to-lug distance of 48.4mm. It wears very much like a standard 40mm diver. On my 6.5-inch wrist is right in my comfort zone. The thickness comes in at right about 15mm, though some of that is due to the heavily domed acrylic crystal, so it wears a bit thinner than the numbers suggest. That said, if you plan to wear it on a NATO or a single pass strap, the thickness does become more noticeable. The included strap is perfectly serviceable and, in my opinion, better than some of the other Vostok bracelets that I've seen. It includes micro-adjustment holes in the clasp, making it easy to dial in a good fit. Personally, I wanted to swap out mine for a two-piece nylon strap to better match the tool watch diver aesthetic. When it comes to lume, Vostoks are notoriously underwhelming. Most of the models only feature small lume pips at the top of each hour marker. This one is slightly better, with fully lumed markers and all three hands coated as well. Still, unless it's charged directly in the sunlight, the lume is barely visible in the dark, and even then it only lasts a few minutes before fading away completely. Overall, a Vostok may not be the flashiest, the most refined, or these days, even the cheapest watch out there, but what it lacks in specs, it more than makes up for in its character. For me, beyond the YouTube fame or impressive dive performance, it's the unique personality of the Vostok watches that drew me in. So the next time you see a Vostok video, don't immediately rush to buy another Scuba Dude or a familiar 120 case. Take your time, find the watch that speaks to you. You might just end up with a one-of-a-kind watch that feels more personal, more unique than anything else in your collection.